Alright, let's start with this. The 2026 Chicago Cubs aren't just good defensively, they're flirting with historic levels of dominance. I mean, imagine a team so locked in on defense that they're on pace to shatter records set in the StatCast era. That's where we are here. And honestly, this might be the most underrated revolution in baseball right now. Why? Because we're conditioned to obsess over home runs and ERAs, but the Cubs are winning games in a way that flies under the radar. Let me unpack this, /N/N. When Dansby Swanson signed with Chicago years ago, the front office sold him a vision: build a defense so absurd it becomes a tactical weapon. And that's exactly what's happening. But here's the twist: I don't think most fans realize how radical this approach is. We're talking about a front office prioritizing gloves over bats in an age where analytics often lean on launch angles and exit velocities. To me, this feels like a counter-movement against the homer-happy trends of the past decade. /N/N. Now, let's talk numbers, because they're staggering. The Cubs' 58 outs above average, OAA, this season. That's not just leading MLB, it's embarrassing the competition. Second place Arizona. They're at 29. Literally half. And the fielding run value, FRV, metric. Chicago's at 62, which is basically a defensive run machine. What's fascinating here is how this isn't just one or two Gold Glovers propping up the stats. Look at the lineup, every regular is above average. Crow-Armstrong in center is at 22 OAA, that's generational range. Swanson, Hoerner, Bregman, you could build a highlight reel just from their web gems. But here's what bugs me: why isn't defense marketed like offense? No scoreboard ticker shows OAA. Swanson's right, fans don't see these metrics celebrated, even though they're quietly dictating game outcomes. /N/N. Let's zoom out. The 2016 World Series Cubs were legendary defensively, right? Well, this 2026 squad is already blowing past those numbers. The 16 team finished with 42 OAA. These Cubs hit 58 by mid-August. That gap? That's insane. And here's where I'll speculate: I think modern positioning and data-driven shifts are supercharging this defense. But it's not just algorithms. Swanson mentioned knocking balls down to keep runs from scoring. That's instinct, not just analytics. It's a blend of tech and grit. /N/N. But wait, how does this translate to wins? Let's talk pitching. The Cubs' trade deadline pickups, Gausman, Holmes, Peterson, all singled out the defense as a selling point. Gausman called it a lot of fun after his debut. Personally, I think that's understated. When pitchers know they've got a circus defense behind them, it changes their mentality. They'll challenge hitters more, trust their stuff, maybe even last longer in games. That synergy between arm and glove. It's a multiplier effect. And for underperforming vets like Peterson, this defense isn't just a safety net, it's a confidence booster. /N/N. Here's my biggest takeaway: the Cubs are redefining what a core looks like. Most teams build around bats or pitching. Chicago's core is defensive identity. It's a team-wide skill set that can't be easily replicated. Swanson called it unique, and he's right. In a league where free agents chase offensive lineups, the Cubs are proving you can build a contender around gloves first. And that raises a question: will other front offices follow suit? Or is this a one-off experiment in a sport that still worships power? /N/N. I'll leave you with this: if the Cubs win the World Series this year, how much credit goes to the defense? We'll debate the homers and Cy Young candidates, but the real story might be the 58 OAA that never made a highlight reel. What do you think? Can defense still win championships in today's MLB? Drop your thoughts below.